Today I'm on Tilley. I'm taking her out on trail. She hasn't been out there in a long time. She's 15. I expect this might be a little bit of a challenge. So I ran her around first. Not a ton. We'll just see how it goes. Yeah, the fence is new, Tilley. Right? Tilley's just as brave as the rider is. A lot of horses are like that. And she'll go for me, but sometimes she's like, no, I'm a mare, and I need to think this out first before we go by that object because I'm kind of scared. So I expect it might be more, since we haven't been out there in a bit, that she's going to stop or do something. And that's okay. So a lot of you getting your horses worked back from the winter. They haven't been out in months and months and months, except for maybe turnout if you don't have a place to ride. So expect when you first take them out to over prepare them to, she's looking at this stuff on the left, to lunge them or run them around for a long time if you can't ride well or you want to be safe. It's best to get that energy out first. And I am letting her look at this thing, and she's turning her head side to side. She might be looking at all of it too. But you got to expect that. And so, over prepare them as much as you can. Expect it not to go great. Be prepared to get off if they're bad so you don't get hurt. And, don't go out in a big group because they're going to be a little nuts. So you'd rather just have one calm horse with you, or yourself, or maybe two calm horses that you usually ride with, but don't go out in big groups. They'll be nuttier. Okay, we're going through the water, and we are going to try and practice our canter out here, which we have not done. But I'm sick of the arena, and I actually have more time for Tilley today, so it's her day. See, she's doing good. She has good work ethic. She does have lots of trail mileage under her belt, but she's had arena work. And so even though she's been worked, it has not been on the trail. So you can't expect them to be great out here and not be a little goofy or spooky or jumpy. Okay? It takes us all time to get used to going back to our regular jobs if you've been off of work for a while. So you'll see her head's up a little bit. I'm just squeezing with one hand and then the other, just kind of sliding the bit across her tongue just slightly, trying to bring her head down. You'll hear her breathing. She's taking big snorts of like, what's all around us? So we're going to go up this easier hill. There's no workers on it today. Girl. She's like, easier? We've never been up this one. So see, this is easier. It's not muddy. There's not a scarecrow or anything, but she's like, you sure, Gaye? So, Tilley's not one you can push too hard. You can push her at times, but sometimes I just got to give her time to look. And then she goes. So, again, she hasn't been out here, so I'm going to start with letting her look unless she becomes really goofy and won't do anything for me. She's older. Horse's best vision at 7. After that, it goes downhill. Just like ours. So, good girl. She gave a little bit of a sigh. But she's still looking around. So all these things, if you watch your horse, tell you when it would be a good thing to try to go forward and when not to go forward. So when you first stop, if you're letting them look, and they got their head way up in the air, they're kind of snorty, that's not the time to ask them to go. That's when they're going to go sideways or up in the air or run backwards. You're trying to let them look back and forth, and then once they give a sigh, she's starting to chew. She's like, let's go home. Then I know, okay, then it's time to go. See how she just went, though? So the higher their head, the less likely they're going to go for you if you're stopping and letting them look at something. The lower the head, the more likely they're telling you it's okay, I'm not afraid, and I'll go. Okay. So now I'm just going to leg yield Tilley back and forth. The left leg, my reins go to the right, my right leg's off. Now I'm going to leg yield her off my right leg. So left leg off, right leg on, hands go to the left. Now I'm going over bumps. And so she could trip, so I'm also sitting back. And she just gates, sometimes paces, hardly trots, but she can do it. So she's going to be a little bit less She's not going to pick her feet up as high as the trotty one, so I know she could catch her feet, so she should sit back. And she's a walking horse, so they tend to slide their feet a lot, and that's why they're fun to ride and smooth, but it can also make them catch their feet. So always sit back, always make sure they're paying attention. The Rockies have a shorter stride, so even if they're pacey, usually not as trippy. If they're trotty or just gait, they'll be pretty good. But they pick their feet up a little higher the way they're bred, and short stride. Foxtrotters can have short strides or big strides. Some of them are crossed with walking horses. You get one of those, it could be a little trippy. So if it's pacey, doesn't pick his feet up high, you gotta make him pay attention. Separate their legs, give them a better chance of not tripping. If they're on the trotty side, you can probably ride them on a looser rein, even if they had a bigger stride, because they're less likely to trip. Okay? Big strided foxtrotter, that's on the pacey side, higher side of tripping. Shorter strided foxtrotter on the pacey side, still can trip, but not as much. This is the things people don't look at. You're not going down the hill, Tilley. So she tried a little move. She's like, I'm smart, and we're going to go down the hill. So see how she doesn't want to go? That's okay. So I'm just giving her a little leg. I'm not beating her up. She's like, just let me look for a minute. So I'm going to let her look. I can feel her heart beating, so I know she's nervous. And again, I think it's been 3 months since we've been up here. That's a lot of time. Good girl. She's like, hell yeah, it is. So she's still looking. She still feels a little nervous to me. But she's a nice mare, and she will try for you. It's not like she's out to get me or she's trying to kill me or anything. She just gets nervous and unsure. So she would not be a good horse for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, someone who can't help the horse, a beginner. You don't want a horse like this because you can't help them and it's going to go downhill, right? Okay. There she goes. So she's moving her feet, but she's not moving forward. So let's give her a little tap and see if that helps. And what do you know? She went. I didn't hit her hard. I beat her up. I said, come on, Tilley, you can do this. Now she's like, I don't know. Are you sure? This trail, it's, a single track in the woods. Lots of things can hide in the woods. So although we don't see anything, see, you saw her spook, but that's okay. She just did her place. I never beat her up for that. That's okay. But she's being cautious and she hasn't been out here. So with the single track in the woods, see, nothing's out here really. There's deer, bobcat. It could be mountain lion. She doesn't know what could eat her, what couldn't eat her. So I know we're probably going to be okay, but she doesn't. So the more open trails where there's more space and they can see all the stuff coming, even though it might be bikes and other things, you got plenty of room to get off the trail. They're not as spooky as the ones like this where they're enclosed. So right here's the narrow part, so I got to steer her in a straight line. Because walking horses can wobble, so in a straight line. Going uphill, sit back, a little half halt, pay attention, Tilley. That's what it tells her. So those half halts slow horses down, but it also tells them you're going to do something. So I give another little half halt. Now we're going down the hill. Good job, Tilley. Girl, you're being so good. Yes, you are. You tell them when they're doing a good job. You got to tell them so they know what's good and what's bad. Most people just get on them when they're bad and don't ever tell them they're good. Then some people tell them they're good too much for every single little thing they do. That's like kids doing some race and everybody gets a ribbon. You don't want to do that either. And they don't try. Okay, so now we're up the hill. She's pretty good. So breathe. You're relaxed, they're relaxed. You're tense, they're tense. Breathe through your mouth. When I'm alone, I don't breathe so hard, just so you know. This is just so you can hear me. Okay, so now she's pretty good. And her head carriage is fine for her. She gaits well with her head about there, so just a little bit above the horn. She can gait with it below the horn as well, but she doesn't shake her head as much, and I like some head shake. So when you're on the trail, practice, you'll see I'm in the middle of the trail. I'm not on either side. If you go to the side, the bushes support them. So they tend to go to the side, and it also gives them more chance to run away if something's coming. But for the rider, that's not always as good. What if there's a drop-off on the side? So you have lots of room, practice staying in the middle. So when you really do need to stay in the middle, you're able to do it well. Usually keep their head straight, especially a day like this. Oh, look, you can see the ocean. Can you see that ocean, Tilley? She's like, where? It's cookie time. I pay my horses all the time. So the ocean's over there if you can see it. It's good to stop on the trail, give them a rest. Keep your rein short, because again, if a deer all of a sudden jumped out of these bushes out here, I don't see him. We'd go flying, because she's going to think, run, it's a mountain lion. Then when she sees it's a deer, she'll stop. Of course, most horses will. But by that time, you might be on the ground. So it's not like they're trying to leave you unless they start bucking. Then they are trying to leave you out there. But if they just spook and spin, they're just trying to get away, natural instincts. A lot of people don't think about it. Horses are just like deer, they're prey, right? Think of what deer do. Think of what they do when they spook or they're unsure. They just run, they jump, they leap. Imagine riding a deer. So horses are like that. They're just bigger. And we got saddles to fit them. Okay, so steer your terrain. I can see straight ahead better than she can. I can focus. I can see the details, so I can see the better footing. So I like to pick it. I know a lot of people say, well, just let the horse pick the footing. You do if you're really unsure and have no idea. But what if he picks the footing, and the footing that's good for your horse takes him under a tree, which then knocks you off? Okay, because that can happen. Oh, they're thinking about them, not you. So try to pick the footing in the beginning. Try to practice your steering. So the day you need to, there's an emergency, it'll just be a piece of cake. You never practice, the horse doesn't know you're up there. They think you're checked out and stuff happens. They don't wait for you to tell them what to do. They just go. So that's why you don't want to be a passenger unless you're going to get an old, gelding. It's maybe lame, so he's not going to run fast if something happens. You might say, what about an old mare? Old mares are great. Some take really good care of you. But there's not as many compared to the old geldings. They're more a little bit laid back. All right, we're going uphill. We're going to try and canter. We're going to try for Tilley's left lead, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm waiting until it goes up a hill a little bit, so it helps her. I'm going to turn to the right. I'm going to hold her with my right rein. She's like, what? And then once I get her walking again, I'm going to say canter and dig with my right leg. Then I know something might pop out around this corner because she was just listening, so I'm going to sit back a little bit. You ready, Tilley? So half halt, shift your weight, canter. You got it. Good girl. She's back and forth, getting her lead. Good girl. So I'm going to stop, give her a little reward. Keep the rein short because something might jump out of the bush while I'm doing this. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to walk off because things do hide in the bushes here. Okay, so she did good. She actually cantered. She didn't canter well. Heck no. But I don't expect her to. She hasn't been out here. So she swapped her lead back and forth. That's okay. That's why we're out here, to practice this stuff and help her get better. The hills will make them stronger. You're trying not to gallop and scare the hell out of your horse. You're trying to teach them how to use their legs. So you're just going to ask them here and there as you go down the trail for different canter steps. This is hard to do with friends unless they're behind you and they will play the game too. If they're in front of you, they canter off, it'll upset your horse and your horse will just throw its legs all over trying to catch up. Usually won't do a good canter. Okay, so I'm going to try another little canter here. Okay, half halt, shift your weight, canter. Wrong lead. Good girl, Tilley. Walk. Good job. So that was her left lead. Now, she used to canter with her right lead out here. It just wasn't very good. But she canters her left lead better at home. So I just kind of look which way the hills are going and what's happening, and then I decide which lead I want to pick up. Now we're going downhill. She's a little antsy. She's like, more scary things are coming, aren't they? You're okay. You got this. Never help your horse. Some of them you need to push because they're spooking all the time and you got to get after them. But in the beginning, I give them all a chance. If this is the 20th ride up the same trail and this is how they're acting, I don't do this anymore. Remember, you're looking for progress. So you do got to push them just like anything, any athlete. In time, you got to ask them to go. Good girl. So I know her, so I knew, well, she's still looking, but I think she'll go for me. Good girl. Now I only have a couple hills left, so now I'm going to try for her right lead, and she might give me the left. We'll just see. And I'm not going to be picky because this is our first gate. I try to do it slow. If you're gating and they're lateral, it's hard for them to switch their leads. Although switch their legs. Although some of them can well. Okay, I like to stay on the left side of this hill. Canter. Good girl. Now she picked her left lead. That's okay. Because for that hill, the left lead was probably actually a little better. Because it's kind of slanted to the left, so she could catch herself better. Good girl. Oh, girl. So I don't care if she didn't pick her right lead. She might not get her right lead at all today. Good girl. So if she can look at the scenery when we're stopped, you'll hear me telling people, don't let them look around. I'm a trail rider, so I pick and choose where I let them look. So when I'm stopped, they can look just fine. But walking horses can look one way and walk another, and that's why, if they're not paying attention, they can trip and fall over something because they're so focused on something else. Haven't you ever looked one direction, or you're looking at your phone and then you walk into a window? Or am I the only idiot who's done that? So, horses will be looking one way, walking another. They got a big stride and they'll catch their foot on a tree stump or the roots on the trail or a rock, and then they'll trip, and then people get mad at the horse, and I'm like, you're the one letting them look all over the place. Have them keep their head straight. Now again, they see different than us, so they do have to turn their head to see, but they're seeing their whole world, and that's what they're looking for. They're usually not trying to look at the footing unless they're putting their head down, because that's close, and they see better if they put their head close to the object. If it's up, they're looking for far away and turning their head side to side. So she's looking farther away. And if she's focused on that and I make her walk down this and we hit a crevice, yeah, she might trip because she's not paying attention to that. She's paying attention to this. So walking horses, or any gaited horse, let me say this, any gaited horse with a very long stride is different than riding the ones with the short strides. The longer stride covers more ground, which is fun, but it covers more ground, so there's more objects they need to clear. And that last object before they put their foot down, their foot better be high, because if it's sticking up, they're going to catch it. And we bred them. Okay? We bred these horses. They're like designer horses. So we bred this into them, so you just got to know what you're getting, where you're riding. They can do all this stuff just fine, but if I rode her like this, well, first she would have went home. There it is. First, she probably would have went home. Second, she'd be looking all over the place, not gaiting well. And third, when I cantered off, she probably would have galloped. So these horses, you got to keep a little shorter. You don't have to pull on them. But that's why people ride English grasp this concept a little bit better. That people who neck rein or ride with a longer rein or with a big loop in the rein and the horse is collected but holding himself, they don't always get this. The walking horses that are trotty can self-collect and they're good at it, but the pacey or just well-gaited ones, not as much. And it's a light collection, don't get me wrong. You don't want to over-collect them because people do that. I've seen lots of trainers who don't want gaited horses do that. Canter. Good girl. Now, not a pretty departure, huh? She took off. Now, this stuff has changed since she's been up here. They've been plowing, so I'm going to let her look. But people over-collect them. They shorten their stride. They tuck their head in too much, and then all they do is make a gaited horse. Well, if it's on the pacey side, they make a gaited horse that paces with its head down, and then it's very hard to fix them. It's possible, but it's difficult because you took one of our tools away, and that was their headset to help us to get the gait. So those horses, you got to get them to relax their neck and their back, because they might look pretty when they're going, but it's not as good a gait usually. It's usually more choppy. So don't over collect these horses either. It's just like a semi collection or a light collection that they're engaging on the back end, which she's doing right now as we go down this hill, and they're carrying themselves. You know, I have contact, but I'm not carrying these horses, or you'd see I'd have huge muscles if I was really pulling on them all the time. I have some little muscles. I don't have big ones. 2 hills left, Tilley. Let's see, this is a harder hill. Let's see if we can get the right lead. Oh, she got her right lead. Good girl. Good job. So at least I'm getting her to canter up all the hills. She stopped again. But again, the fact she's out here and didn't give me a big fuss when I left the barn is a good thing. So remember, this is teamwork. This is a living animal that I'm on. So she just walked off by herself. She's like, I like Gaye. Gaye, let me look. She helps me when I'm scared. She gets after me when I'm bad. But I know it'll make me a better horse. Okay, now she stopped again. It's okay. Sometimes the guy's up there with the truck doing some stuff. Good girl. So again, she's looking left. Her head's to the right, but she's looking left. I'm always trying to teach you guys how to, their vision. So that time she looked to the right and she's like, how about we just go home here? We really don't have to go up there. And I go, no, you know what? I want to go all the way to the top. It's like your friend. They're like, didn't we hike far enough? And I was like, no, 5 more miles. We'll be in Carmel, and then we can get lunch and some wine. It'll be fun. Come on, let's do it. And all the friends are mad. So that's just her gait. That's not a canter. That's okay, because I didn't ask her to canter. Good girl. Their ears will tell you where they're focused. So she's focused ahead. There's these water tank things. I think they're water tanks or bins up here. So she'll focus on them. When her ears come back, she's either listening to me or something behind us that's stalking us. Okay. So there's the ocean way out there. You can see. Now see, she's a little choppy because she's going downhill and I was talking to you, and she got a little pacey. She just started swinging her legs. She's like, this is easy to do. Again, the horse doesn't know what you want, so I go, no, I don't like that, so let's not do that. And she's a little antsy with these black things, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to get off and take her all around those things. Okay, so we're going to unhook ourselves. I like to keep a halter on for this reason. So I can unhook the rein. I have clips on all my reins. And then I'm going to hook it to this halter. I don't want to hook it to the whole thing because then the clip might come undone. And so I'm going to take her over it to it. Because if I don't, this could be an ongoing fight. So I'm going to take her over to it, let her see what it is. See her head up, and she's looking. She's looking that way. You might think, oh, she's looking at the ocean. No, she's looking at these things with the side of her eye. Remember, horses focus different than we focus. So my eyes just focus on the object. She sees a thing. And the way she focuses is to turn her head side to side. Don't go on top of me. She's like, will you hold me? The way she focuses to put her head up and down and sideways. That's how she focuses. So she just grabbed your pants, didn't you? She said, I'm a little scared. I'm going to take some weight off in case we need to run. So I'm going to try and keep her up here, see if she'll graze and relax some. And she might not, or she might do it for a couple minutes. And then if she stays antsy, I'll just be like, okay, it's time to go back today. I don't expect her to sit out here for a half hour being totally calm when she hasn't been out in 3 months. No? Even though she has years of trail experience, I don't expect that because that's unrealistic. So just remember what you have, what you're dealing with. Good girl. But overall, coming out, she was great. Going home might be a different story, right? Hopefully it won't be too fast. Okay, we're going to graze for a bit, and then I'll put you back on. Okay, so Tilley's been walking some circles. That's okay. She's ate some, so that's good that she ate it all, because some won't even do that in the beginning. So now I'm going to get back on. So I like to get back on facing away from home. you get on facing home, sometimes they just take off. Now, she might take off even doing this. So you have two options. If you're trying to get on, the horse is going away from you, hold your outside rein tighter. It brings their butt towards you. So that way, if I get on and she moves, she'll come towards me. Sorry, I'm checking my girth. Instead of away. Hang on a sec. Oh, she's like, I'm facing home anyhow, aren't I? So I'm going to turn her and just start again. That's okay. Stay. The faster you get on, the easier it is. The older you get, the harder it is. Whoops. Sorry, Tilley. She's like, what are you doing? So now she's going backwards. That's okay. I'm going to get my vest hook while she's going backwards. She's trying to take us towards home. That's okay. You just watch where you're going backwards. I know where I am, so I know what's happening. Okay. Now she got us going forward. I'm going to push her off my left leg. Just drop off over here, so I'd rather be over here. She's going a little fast. Her stride's short. She's anxious. That's okay. I knew it was probably going to happen. These out and back trails, this can happen a lot. So if that's what your trail is, it's just out and back, and you're buying a horse, you make sure you ask them how it is. And if they don't know, when you try it, you try that out and back trail. Some are great on loops. You take them out and back, they turn into a knot. It takes them a long time to get used to it. So breathe. A little serpentine. Now she's in a rush to go home, but that's okay. I expect that she was going to do this because, again, I haven't been away from home in a long time. All horses can get barn sour. So when people call me up and they say, I want a horse that's not barn sour, and I just go, well, I can give you one that's not barn sour. It doesn't mean it won't become barn sour once you buy it, because people usually do the wrong thing. Okay. So no horse is born being barn sour. It's created. Their friends are there, their food is there, their rest is there. So they just have to learn, which Tilley will learn when we get back today. That's not fun being home, okay? But that's where her friends are. So in time, she will get slower, but I don't expect that for today. Especially when they're rushing home like this. Half halt, squeeze, relax, put the weight in your stirrups, keep your butt up a little bit out of the saddle so they can use their back. And I wouldn't, if I had to stop and wait for somebody here, this would be a bad thing. She'd probably be jumping all around. That's why I took her out by herself. But she's fun when she's fast. But we want to fix this because we don't want the horse to do this all the time. So that requires work and teaching the horse it's not fun to be home. If you try to hold them or hold them back when your friends are leaving, you're going to get in trouble. So you give and take, squeeze, relax. You see she's fast. Now she thinks, oh, hill, we're supposed to canter. Well, I don't want to canter on the way home because that'll make her more barn sour. So I'm not going to let her. Good girl. And in time she'll learn we canter out, but we don't canter back. Forgot what I was saying. So you gotta show them what their job is and how to do it. But the first time, the horse isn't gonna be good at it, okay? Even when you buy a horse and it's fully broke, even if it was expensive and there's videos they rode it all over, they didn't ride it on your trails. So the horse has to get used to those trails. Okay, and you want to go with calm people, not a bunch of people that are taking off and not waiting in case your horse gets anxious with those new trails. See, she just spooked as we were going down a hill. So imagine if I didn't have reins. She's good though. She's shortening her step up. She's getting on her back end. So she knows how to get down hills. She wasn't born knowing that. Somebody had to show her. The previous mommy showed her, I'm sure. So when you ride with people, and you got a horse like this, you gotta move some. If I was behind a quarter horse right now, geez, she'd probably be having a meltdown. So you gotta ride with the right people who can help you, or ride alone, and then know what you're getting into. And if those people keep galloping off up ahead, if I was with a ton of people, well, my horse would just get nuttier. She's already nutty because she hasn't been out. So why would I want to make her nuttier? So I'm not going to go out with people like that till I get her better and calmer. But you give and take. The more you just hang on them and try to make them, I want you to walk home slow. You got to go slow. Go home slow. Well, that doesn't work telling them that, just FYI. And you got to show them, because that's what it's all about to horses. You got to show them. So what's the consequence of running home fast? The consequence is more work when we get there, and you're going to get tied up. It's pretty easy. But you got to do it. You got to follow through. You can't get home. Well, I want to give her a bath first. I want to give her some carrots first. Oh, come on. Can't she just graze a little now that we're home? Sure. If you want to make the next time coming home even faster, you go ahead and do all those things. She'll get even more barn sour. So you got to show them the right thing. So no bath, no bug spray, no cookies, no grass. You just get work tied up. End of story. You can do it your way. Just see how it works. I fixed a lot of barn sour horses. It works when you do it right. And I've had clients say, I did it. It's not working. And I go, yep, because you're doing it wrong. Because I know it, because they send the horse to me and immediately gets better. Because I'm strict, and they're usually chit-chatting or doing something so the horse is not making the association with home and being miserable. Okay, so I just keep half-halting. My reins are short. It might look like I'm pulling on her, but I'm not. I just tighten my fist, release. Tighten my fist, release. I'm not opening my fingers. I'm a tight fist, looser fist. Tight fist, looser fist. That's your half-halt. No leg. So if I'm trying to engage my horse and get their gait, I do put leg on them. But when they're flying home like this, my legs are off. I don't have leg on her at all. Okay? And there's no point in me trying to make her go slow, because it's just going to make it harder for me to get her home. But I knew coming out this was going to happen. Right, Tilley? She's like, sure did. Steer around the trees. Don't take you into it, no matter how fast they're going. So going through this stuff, she's going a little fast and it gets narrow. She could get trippy, so I gotta sit back. See these sticks, roots coming across? Trip on those. So breathe. Half halt. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, you're getting us home so fast. Wow, you must think that's a nice thing. So don't get mad, don't get in a fight. If you can't ride it out, you just get off and walk. If your friend wants to ride it home for you, that's fine. But this can happen anytime they sit home for a while. So that's why it can definitely happen after the winter, because they're like, hell, we haven't been out all winter. Why would I go out now? There's food here, you know, and rest. So I went out there, grazed her, go home. She's no grazing. No, she can have her hay, but if she still has hay, but that's it. It's not like I'm going to go home and give her hay. She'll get hay at a normal dinner time. Okay, so I'm leaving a little bit. It's the serpentine. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. It's not helping. That's okay. Now up here I'm going to take a turn. And then it gets very narrow. I don't want her to trip, so easy, Tilley. Easy, easy, good girl. She's listening. Easy, good girl. Now she's a mare, so she's like, okay, we're through that. Back to crazy. Kelvin would stay crazy the whole time, but she's like, no, I gotta go through that narrow thing. I'll slow down for 5 seconds and get you through. Up. So she wasn't paying a lot of attention there. That's why I just said the word up. Now we go through the narrow. So I'm going to try and keep her slow. Breathe. Half halt. Half halt. Half halt. She hit the side a little. Half halt because she's speeding up. And then look, she slowed herself down. But now she's going to go back to fast because now we're through it. So some geldings will do that too. They're smart. You know, she likes me. She doesn't want to hurt me. She's just having an anxiety attack here. And when she gets home, her anxiety attack will be over. Okay. Sometimes they get up here and they see home and they go, there it is. I gotta get home. I gotta get there. Look at her. She's like, is there danger there? Something just fell in the woods. Easy. Going down the things, you let go of their head though. I'm going downstairs, so half halt, let go. Half halt, let go. So they can use their head and neck going down. So now I'm going to go back down that path I went up. Easy here. Okay, girly. Half halt, relax. Half halt, relax. Half halt, relax. Now, is this fun? Yeah, it is kind of fun for me. Well, most people don't want to go this fast. And I don't want to make a crazy horse because I got to show my saddle horses. And guess what? Tilley's going to have to go with them. So if she's like this, she'll make the horses nuts. Right? So, yeah. Horses, like, when they're going like this, other horses will feed off of them. They're like, you're cuckoo, I'm cuckoo too. Let's be cuckoo together. So, ride with calm horses. Ones like this. And the people that have these horses, it's your job to fix this. Get this fixed calmer so your friends want to ride with you again. Okay. Hop, halt, relax. Hop, halt, relax. No leg. Sit back. Breathe. My half halt is squeeze. Hold it for a couple seconds. Relax my fist. She's good. Now she's getting a little choppy. So squeeze. Hold it for a couple seconds. Relax. So I hold until I get a little response. It might not be much, but I want something a little bit slower. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. So no death grip. No, let go. Let's try our serpentine, but be careful. She's going speedy. She's good grip. Not paying attention. See where her ears are? She's like, home, home. Gotta go home. Gotta go home. Home, home. Gotta go home. Okay, Tilley. Now, as soon as we get close, there's horses down here. The horses that are going through, they go, oh my God, thank God I'm with other horses. Yeah, I'm okay now. You're not going to tie me up now, are you? They know what's coming next, if it's ever been done before. So look at that. Run down the hill. Now she's going slower home. Now, this is much slower than she was going down the hill, but if I was with somebody on a short strided horse, it'd be way back. It'd still be way back. And if I had to wait for them to catch up, well, she's not, it would make her worse. I might be spinning in circles. So there's no magic. So it's actually stopping. If she wants to see that horse, fine, because anything that makes her stop is good for me, even if she's looking at things. So I'll let her sit here because I don't want her to run the rest of the way home. But if you have to keep waiting for people while your horse is doing this, it's a mess. And it's hard. You don't want to leave them in the dust. It makes their horse nuts. So that's why this is better to fix alone or fix with one friend who you're not going to make their horse crazy. So, see, I could drop the reins right now. She's like, yeah, let's just eat grass here with friends because I know what you're going to do when you get me home, Gaye. I was like, come on, Tilley. So I just had to push on her. I just pushed my leg on her. To get her to go again. Now she's going sideways. So I'm holding my left rein against her left leg. Now she's speeding up. This is not barn sour anymore. This is her being nervous of this spot right here. Remember, she sees different than me, but she can hear things and she sees motion where I don't see motion as quickly as her. Now look, she's like, is this safe? So I'm not going home if it's not safe. Remember, mares lead the herd. Each mare is different. Some are very brave, but who knows, maybe Tilley sees ghosts. Good girl. I don't think she does. She's just scared. But I like horses with some spirit and some fire, but I think most people should not buy them because they don't handle them well, or they do the wrong thing and make them nuttier. Okay, so as we get back up by the barn, she's gonna hope that I'm gonna tie her up, but I'm actually gonna take her in the arena and try some cantering in there for just a little bit. This fence is new. Every horse is different on when things are new. Some notice all of it and some notice very little. You know, it's in their breeding line and their instinct of who, you know, bred them, their parents, how much they notice new things. Because if you notice new things, you'll notice when leaves are out of place and a mountain lion maybe went through there and they could see you. And they see how she just stops. She's like, no, don't do it. Yeah, let's do it. Come on, Tilley, this is fun stuff. And we'll shut the gate because that's fun and sign pass over. So some horses notice everything little, some don't. That's who they are. Okay, so we're going to start to the right. I know. We're going to make a figure 8 today over this pole with our circles and canter. And it might not be so good. We'll see. She's a little amped up. It's okay. Easy. Look, she's like, I don't have to canter. Let's try it again. Easy. Try to keep her slower. Keep her a little crooked. Canter. Good girl. No, she fell. It's okay. She didn't have the correct lead behind anytime. Always sit back when you're teaching these guys to canter. Walk. Good girl. Let's go the other way. Now let's walk. This is a fun exercise. Go to the right. Canter. She didn't get it, so I'm going to the right again. Good girl. Walk. So I have that little stick so I can give her a little tap when she does the wrong thing. We're going to go left. No, Tilley. She's like, I'm going to jump up and down. It's okay. Now she likes to rush things. Good girl. So we're going left again because she rushed it. I don't want her to learn that easy. It's okay. No. No, you'll hear me talking to her. It's yours. Yep, you're going to do it. Nope. Come on. Left. Good girl. See, that was a good canter. So she'll have some little hissy fits. That's okay. Easy. Good girl. Okay, she did it pretty good. Okay, now let's just walk around, baby. So, see, I didn't do it a ton. I did it till she got a little bit of practice. And I'm just going to walk around. So she hates the part of the arena up here, so why don't I take her up here for her going home. Now she spooked. She spooked at this, so I'm trying to let her look. And now she gave us a new job to do. Okay, she don't seem to care. So always turn towards the spooky object. If you turn away from it, it puts the spooky object behind the horse's butt. Makes them want to run away from it. They don't have to get close to it, but after you get like 10 to 15 feet past it, you go back. Yep. So she could be 20 feet away from this as long as she goes past it. See how I moved over a little bit? It's okay. They all have their safety bubble. So you're going to get a lot in this video if you watch the whole thing. So I don't care if she goes close to this thing. She just went close to it, but I really don't care. I just want to go by it. Whoa. And each time I turn this way, she's going away from home. Now she's like, oh, let's canter. Let's do something else. Nope. So see her jumping up? Because she doesn't want to go by it, so she's pulling other things out of the box. Like, what else can I do for Gaye? So she stops making me go by this wheelbarrow thing. You're okay. I got you. So she just has to learn, and she may never be perfect. That's okay. That when she starts spooking at stuff, we're going to look at it, and then we're going to go by. Good girl. Oh, what a good girl. Good job. So now she's looking. If she wants to put her head down and look here, she's like, oh, why did this lady take me? She's so difficult. So now that she's being good and looking, you see she's on a loose rein. So this is your reward. If you want to look and not be goofy, I'll let you look. But if you want to be goofy, we'll just keep going by it, and that might be 20 times or 1,000 times, but I'm willing to do what it takes. So this is quite good. Now you saw I gave her some treats on the trail as reward. I'm not going to give her any treats in here. We're home. Okay. Good girl. Okay, so let's do a test. So we're going to turn left towards the spooky object. Good girl. She's good. She's as fast, but this is towards the barn. Now we're going to turn again. Good girl. So now she walked by a little antsy, but not bad. So you saw her have all sorts of fit, jumping up and down, but again, she never used to do that. She just did that when I started teaching her to canter, because she can't get her legs together, and so she thinks she jumps up, she'll be okay. Now she doesn't like this round pen. It has a hole in it, and it's red and brown. So, you know, who knows what she's seeing. But this is where I'm going to get off. Yep. And then we're going to go up to the round pin and see it. And then she's going to be tied up for a while. But overall, even though she was fast, even though she had hissy fits, she did spook several times, right? She tripped when she cantered. What else did you do? Oh, you charged at the canter once we got back here. So, but she did great. Seriously. So you have to think that people expect perfection. It's not perfection, you know? If I just wanted this horse to gait, not canter, she'd be fine. But when you're working on things, you got to follow through. There have to be consequences when they do bad things. There has to be reward when there's good things. And there has to be relief when they do something you want. So I want her to stand by this round pen. That's why she's on a loose rein now. And she's just standing here looking. And I've taken this horse many times to this round pen, but I know she doesn't see it well. Something in her vision doesn't help her here. So that's okay. And I know that, so I know I have to help her at times to get her through that. I can't beat her up. I can't make her see better. They don't make horse glasses right now. And we don't have a horse IQ test, and Tilley wouldn't be able to respond very well since she don't speak English. But overall, that's what I expected. She did better. She didn't drag me home. She didn't kill me. She didn't throw me off. So I think we had a good day, right? We had a good day. All right.